What happens to a human body after death? Science tells us that within just 6 to 24 hours, tissues begin to break down, bacteria take over, and decomposition inevitably sets in. It is an inescapable law of nature. But in March of 1952, in Los Angeles, California, a world-renowned Indian yogi did something that completely stunned Western doctors, morticians, and scientists. He died, but his body refused to decay. For 20 consecutive days, his body showed absolutely no signs of odor, no mold, and no physical disintegration. The mortuary director called it an unparalleled case in mortuary history. Who was this man, and how did he defy the ultimate law of biology? The date was March 7th, 1952. Paramahansa Yogananda, the legendary author of Autobiography of a Yogi, the man who brought Kriya Yoga to the West, was attending a prestigious banquet at the Baltimore Hotel in Los Angeles. He had just finished a deeply moving speech about world peace and spiritual unity. As he uttered the final lines of a poem, he lifted his eyes and slid gently to the floor. At the age of 59, Paramahansa Yogananda had left his physical form. But to advanced yogis, this wasn't an ordinary cardiac arrest. This was Mahasamadhi, a master's conscious, deliberate exit from the physical body at the exact time of death. Yogananda had even hinted to his closest disciples just 24 hours prior that his time on earth was up. What happened next is where science meets the inexplicable. His body was taken to the famous Forest Lawn Memorial Park mortuary. The mortuary staff, led by mortuary director Harry T. Rowe, prepared the body and placed it in a bronze casket with a glass lid. They expected the laws of nature to take their course. They expected to see the usual signs of decay. But days passed, and nothing happened. Harry T. Rowe was so astonished that he later released an official, notarized letter to the public. He wrote, "The absence of any visual signs of decay in the dead body of Paramahansa Yogananda offers the most extraordinary case in our experience. No physical disintegration was visible in his body even 20 days after death." The report noted that there was no putrefactive odor, no indication of mold on the skin, and no drying up or desiccation of the bodily tissues. His hands remained normal, and his lips still wore a slight, serene smile. The mortuary staff checked the body daily from March 11th until March 27th, when the casket was finally sealed by fire. For nearly 3 weeks, his body remained in what they called a phenomenal state of immutability. How do we explain this? From a purely chemical standpoint, the mortuary director noted that the muscle proteins and blood of the deceased must have been completely free of impurities and bacteria. Usually, muscle proteins break down into amino acids and then into toxic domain acids, causing rapid decay. In Yogananda's body, these impurities simply weren't active. But from the yogic and spiritual perspective, the explanation goes much deeper. In the ancient science of yoga, it is believed that a master who has achieved total realization has complete control over the atomic structure of their body. Through the practice of Kriya Yoga, the cells of the body are completely spiritualized and charged with pure life force, or prana. Yogananda's guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar, once called him an incarnation of divine love. It is said that even after the soul left, the divine energy left behind in the physical cells kept the body perfectly preserved, acting as a final testimony to the world of the power of yoga. Paramahansa Yogananda once said, "My body shall pass, but my work shall go on." The miracle at Forest Lawn wasn't just a freak biological anomaly. For millions around the world, it was a profound sign, a message carved into physical reality, showing that we are not just these temporary, fragile bodies of clay. We are the immortal spirit inside,